Welcome back. So, we are speaking to Kalashuri Channa Wijewardena, and taking from where we stopped, Channa, I wanted to ask you that there are so many dance contests and competitions like where young people are competing. Do you see that as a good thing? And the other question is, how important is technique to be a proper dancer?
Well, competition, well, it's good in one way because there are hidden talents coming out. But there's a sad part also, because a lot of competitors, they just learn only the item. They have no fundamental exercises behind this, no traditional background behind. They just learn an item. They go to the. It's very easy to do that. You go to the market. That's why we lose a lot of. We don't see a lot of Canadian dancers because it's not in the market for sale. You go to the market, you go and buy a DVD. You pay a small amount, buy a DVD, go home, look at that mask. That's copying. You copy that, copy. Then you apply it and you do an item. But you can have a lot of faults in your system. You can get injured later, because you're using, sometimes you're using the wrong muscle. Like I said, you're not cleaned. You're using the wrong, your spinal cord can go the other way because you're just doing an item. You don't know how to turn without, now you say a jump. When you say a jump, first you take the gravity, go down, then you shoot up and you come down. That's what they think. No, a jump is you go down, take gravity, go up, then you stretch upwards from this side, stretch down. That's the third part. That's where you stay, that's where you feel the cosmic, you feel the energy around you, you feel the air around you, then you come down.
So basically you're referring to technique, the importance of technique.
Yeah, you have to feel when you're in a jump. You don't just come and go up and come down. Then competition wise, they just learn items, come and do the items. But you can, they have to be trained correct. The technique has to be trained. You should train technique. Then how important is performing arts, which you asked? It is very important. Without performing arts, you cannot, the performer won't go, art won't go, because if you take a kite, you get a guy sending a kite. The person who is sending kite is a technique. We say he's a technique.
The person is the technique.
Okay, we say the person technique.
Right.
Then the performer is the kite.
Okay, I'm trying to picture this. Now, performer is the kite. Okay.
Now, there's a string.
Right.
Imagine the string is performing arts.
Okay.
If the performing arts string won't go, no one will see the kite. It will be only that person seeing the kite. But if the performing arts string goes a little more, the whole of ITN building will be seeing the kite. If the performing art is more powerful, whole of Singapore will see it. If the performing art is going more, the whole of Colombo will be seen. If it goes more, the whole of Sri Lanka will see the dancer. So, performing arts ability has to go more and more for the performer, for the technique to be seen around globe.
So, basically what you're saying is it's a technique that will actually...
And if the performing arts string technique is not there, there won't be no one to hold it, it's gone.
There's no base.
There's no base.
So and it's like the example is very interesting because you're saying if the string is longer and longer, then the kite, the performer can be seen.
That means the tradition is, that means your technique is going global wide.
So is that what has happened to you? Your kite has gone all over the world and you're performing around the
I hope so.
world.
Because I have a technique. Because I have a technique behind. If my technique is not there, there's no one to hold the string. I'm finished. The foundation is the classical technique, which I got from my gurus, Wijewardena and Chitta's uncle, of course, Mr. Upuli's father, Mr. Panibata. That technique foundation is concrete. It will never go.
I guess when you were talking about this string, the performing arts, and the things that you told as a choreographer, you need to be able to improvise, you need to be able to do your own jackets.
That's all in the string.
That's all in the string, exactly. And you said you need to be able to pick colors, and it's about energy. And I guess if a person is not coordinating everything in terms of the textile, even the texture of the textile, the color, and the coordination and getting the talents out, I think, is that what you are referring to as a performing art?
Then the choreographer, there is something what we apply called 3 C's.
Right.
Copy, complement to the movement, then contrast into the movement. This is a choreograph technique.
Complement, copy and contrast.
Yeah, we do copy movements. Unfortunately, that's what's happening in Sri Lanka. Everything is copy movements. You have to have complementing into movement. Then you have the contrast into the movement. Wow. Through these, you start choreographing.
So it's not just like a copy-paste job. You bring the complementing.
No, I mean, you have 10 dancers. 10 dancers are doing the same thing.
Right.
You see that a lot.
Right.
But in this, you can complement a particular movement.
Right.
Which will give something more to the eye. Because the person, you have to dance through the eyes to the heart of the people. It to touch the heart through the eyes.
Through the dancer's eyes.
to the audience. I'm talking about the audience.
Okay.
Through his eyes, you should go to the heart. The heart, if he goes to the heart, only he'll feel the dance. If it goes only to the eye, he will just forget about it.
So you have to connect, like it has to be an emotional bond.
Emotional bond. Your heartbeat, you have to be clever enough to synchronize. His heartbeat has to synchronize with your heartbeat. If you synchronize the heartbeat with the audience, he will never leave you. He will be bound and glued to you. And every single dance, maybe if you're doing a duet and you have the girl on the other corner, there are 10, 15 dances across, and if you can have the same heartbeat between the girl and the boy here, you can feel the connection, the current between these two dancers. They don't have to be together.
So this explains sometimes the pin drop silence you get from the audience,
That's
right?
because of the heartbeat.
Right.
He has
because
tapped your rhythm. He has tapped your heartbeat. You tap, it's a film. The film, they do that. The director taps the heartbeat. You suddenly see everyone in the film because their heartbeat and that heartbeat is
I guess so. It's the same energy, same frequency, and you resonate, and then you are just
exactly
so
and
silent.
you didn't know what happened to you, and then you take that home.
So that is an experience for you to dwell on after that.
Yeah,
I guess.
that's a reason we've been booked overseas. We've been booked because we tap the hearts through our tradition.
Do you want to explain or like the experiences and the reviews you get when you travel
One,
overseas?
I can talk about one we did in Chicago. Was a massive stadium, like much bigger than Sukada Stadium, which is Chicago Bulls, where Michael Jordan plays, and we had a massive stage there, and the person was Jimmy Carter there. He was the chief guest there, and we performed for a 15,000 audience. Mind you, in the end of the dance, all 15,000 stood up. Then went backstage. Mr. Jimmy Carter came backstage, and we had coffee together, and he spoke about Sri Lanka, and the Sri Lankan art, the rich culture, and blah blah blah. And there are photographs. It went on like. Then another experience I got was when I performed at the President House when Prince Charles came to Sri Lanka, and he came. He asked, it was Madam Chandrika Kumardam who was the president at that time. He asked who was behind this, who did this. Then she showed me, and he came up to me, and he asked, I just know where Sri Lanka stands now, because I did the creation, I did the tradition, and I did the when you do the creation, you know that Sri Lanka is moving. If you only do the tradition, okay, we have a rich cabinet, that's good. Why shouldn't we show that we are moving? We are moving. We are moving with the world. We are going to the future. We are not stuck here.
One last question, we're running out of time, Channa, unfortunately. What is the scope for dance in Sri Lanka, and how can Sri Lanka use dance to sort of interculturally connect and brand Sri Lanka?
As I first said, dance goes to the heart of the people, and there's a lot of scope in dance if you do it the real way. If you do it the correct way, that's very powerful. It goes into the heart of the people. People blame the government that they are not doing. The government has nothing to do with this. Government helps the dance so much. It's the dancers who should do it. You cannot say, "What, I didn't get this, I didn't get this." No. You do it, you get it. You do it, you get shows. You do it, you get productions. You have to work, work, work. Practice, practice, practice. Don't blame anyone. Practice. Show it. People will come glued to you.
Okay, so it's again you are saying look at ourselves and do whatever you can do,
Yeah.
And then the
Don't
other
blame
things
other
will-
people for it.
Again, I think it comes from the cosmic energy we
Yeah,
were referring to.
Yeah, it's you. You do it. Do it. You do it for yourself, not for someone else. You do it for yourself, then others will be there around you.
Right, and I guess the metaphor about the kite is very interesting to remember, that you have the technique and you have the string, the performing arts. So for all the artists out there and young generation, the students who are taking into dance, remember that it is the performing arts string and you have to do your best. We touched on very important aspects like cosmic energy, colors, texture, and the dance movement, the rhythm, the beat. And he said that movement happens when the child, the fetus is in the belly, and it's a case of improvising, and it's the gap between the real beat and the real steps that we learn. So that is one thing, and it was a pleasure to talk about IFA and your experience, and congratulations for all the excellent reviews you've got. And I guess the kite is now have started blowing around the world. So on that note, Channa, thank you very much for joining today at Roundtable, and thank you for watching us tonight.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks.